Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Dea Silvani from Siliwangi University, and in this occasion, I would like to share the result of my research entitled Reflective Journal in an Online ESP Class, a Case Study in Indonesia. And here is the outline of my presentation. And the first point that I'm going to share with you is the background of my research. As we all know that online learning has gained its popularity, especially in the pandemic of COVID-19. And even though we have already familiar with online learning, students still face some challenges and also problems in joining online learning activities. For example, they face some technical problems such as unstable internet connections. Besides, for the students who have lack of self-confidence, they become more hesitant in participating and sharing their ideas or opinion with the class. Besides, they have limited opportunity to interact directly with their friends because they have to join online learning from different places with their friends. And they also have to struggle to maintain their focus and also concentration in joining learning activities, because some of them think that online learning is boring. And besides, some of them also can be easily distracted by the interruption from their environment, especially from their home. Those factors often affect their interest and also motivation in learning. That's why it is very important for the teacher to find the appropriate strategies that can help students to gain a better learning experience. One of the strategies that can be implemented is by asking the students to reflect on their own learning. It is very important because it can promote the students' professional development as they learn from their own mistakes, and it can improve their academic skill. And one of the ways that can be conducted in order to reflect on their own learning is by asking the students to write a reflective journal. It is in line with a phenomenon that I found in this study, by which the students in an online ESP class, especially in a business English class, were asked by the teacher to write a reflective journal at the end of each topic. The reflective journal itself consisted of several points, which includes their understanding about the materials, by which they were asked to write a summary by using their own words that can demonstrate their understanding. And they were also required to identify their strengths and also weaknesses, both in joining online learning and also in understanding the materials. And then they were also required to describe their effort and then to describe the strategies that they had already implemented in order to solve the problems they face, or even to eliminate and reduce their weaknesses in joining online learning. So based on that phenomenon, this research is intended to investigate the students' perceptions on writing reflective journal in an online ESP classroom. So in general, reflective learning, according to Fulana et al. In 2016, is a process of reflecting on all sources of knowledge to comprehend the situation, including personal sources and experience. So in this process, the students were asked to reflect on their own experience in order to make their learning become more meaningful, especially in online learning context. In more specific, reflective journal has some advantages, especially in online learning context. The first, it enables the students to choose topics, test new ideas, comment on personal behaviors, and describe feelings. Yeah, so they were allowed to express their feelings based on their own experience in joining online learning, and then facilitate reflection and allowing students to use background and materials relevant to their individual learning experience. So it is very personal, related to each student's learning experience. And then it can improve the outcomes of learning, promoting students' learning atmosphere and providing opportunities for professional development as the students learning from their own mistakes. Yeah, so it is expected that by writing reflective journal, they can they can improve their academic skill. And that's why reflective journal writing is a good way to express critical and also reflective thinking. More specifically, in online learning context, reflective journal writing can bring the process of reflection in an electronic environment, into conscious awareness, and also enhance the meaningfulness of the learning experience by promoting critical self-reflection and metacognitive awareness. So based on those description, it can be concluded that reflective journal writing has some beneficial role in order to make online learning become more effective and also meaningful for the students. And then the methods for this research. So this research it investigates the specific phenomenon, which is to investigate students' perception related to writing a reflective journal in an online ASP classroom. And the participants involved were 6 students from business English class of an English education department of a university located in West Java, Indonesia. And the data were collected by using semi-structured interview, which were conducted online and then recorded. And then the data were then analyzed by using thematic analysis. The findings of this research indicates that the students admit that writing reflective journals helps them in several ways. The first, it helped them to recall and to also check their understanding of the materials given. So in their reflective journal, the students were asked to demonstrate their understanding related to the materials by writing a summary by using their own words. And since they realized that they were required to write a reflective journal at the end of that topic, it encouraged the students to be more focused and also active in joining the learning activities. That's why it can also help the students gain better understanding related to the materials in an online learning context or situation. And the next point, it also helped the student to reflect on their learning experiences while joining the online learning activities. In this point, the students were allowed to express their feeling, their opinion while joining the online learning activities. By doing so, they can have a better understanding about themselves. And then the next one is it can help them to identify their strengths and also weaknesses. Yeah, by identifying their strengths and also weaknesses, the students can have the students can develop their self-awareness. They become aware of themselves. Yeah, and they were also encouraged to formulate the most appropriate and also effective strategies in order to solve their problems and also to reduce or even eliminate their weaknesses in online learning. That's why it can also promote their critical thinking as well as their problem solving skill. So to sum up, the students agree that writing reflective journal has some beneficial roles for their learning because it can help them to recall and also check their understanding of the materials. It can also help them to reflect to their learning experience as well as to identify their strengths and also weaknesses in learning. That's why writing reflective journals can make online learning more effective and also meaningful for the students, since it can promote their self-awareness, their critical thinking, and also their problem-solving skill. That's why writing reflective journal can be considered as a fruitful strategy that can be implemented by the teacher in order to help the students to have a better learning experience, which in turn, it is expected to help the students gain better learning achievement in the future. So here are the references for this research, and that's all that I can share with you related to my research. Thank you so much, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.